welcome to Flory Models Daily Vlog. Here we are on Friday morning. Glorious day out there today. It really is hot already, warming up very nicely. First of all, thanks for all the feedback on the X-Wings. I think everyone seems to agree with me, which is always nice. Yeah, I had a couple of people and they say they've got the fine molds one. If you've got the fine molds one, absolutely knock yourself out. It is still a really nice kit, don't get me wrong. It's just that when if you're in the position to go and buy one, and then I would go the Bandai route every single time. That is what I was trying to sort of talk about on the review, that whilst the fine molds one is nothing wrong with it and it's perfect and it'll give you a fantastic, still scale model and a representation of an X-Wing, if you're in a new market to go and buy one and you're going to be dropping £80, and as some of you have mentioned on the forum, you can get them as low as £65 delivered from Japan, why would you go down the fine molds route? Because, as I say, nothing wrong with the kit, nothing wrong with fine molds, and again, I built them, they're great kits, but as I say, if I'm dropping some money on a kit, obviously I want to go for the one that's going to give me the best bang for the buck, so to speak, and also is going to give me the most pleasurable build. I don't want to be struggling with a build when you know there's another kit out there which is twice as good. But what I'm saying by that is, and I'm as guilty as everybody else with my stash, I've got kits in there where I know there's a better kit that's come out now. But does that mean I'm going to run out and buy the other kit? Probably not. I know I buy a lot of kits obviously for reviewing you guys, and here we are in the studio. But at the end of the day, I've got some models down there which, let's face it, they've been sort of superseded. I've got the Hasegawa F14, I've got the Hobby Boss F14. And I know for a fact that actually when the AMK one comes out, I'll be getting that. And we're not going to go down the entire talk about Tamiya and what I think about that one, because needless to say that a lot of the high profile, shall we say, guys out there in the industry who work for the magazines and that, honestly, guys, just be true to yourselves. At the end of the day, I don't think you're fooling anybody. Anyway, I'm going to get both of those kits in. A lot of people have asked me about it. I'm not going to say a word until I've got them both in my hand. I'm not going to be one of these reviewers that will go quite happily tell you all about it by looking at CAD and stuff like that. I'll wait till I've got them here. We're going to do a total side-by-side comparison, and we'll look at them and break them down in every single part, and then give us our thoughts on what we think. So that'll be a big show for that one. So I'm really looking forward to doing that particular review when they drop. When they drop, though, we're not too sure. Obviously the guys at AMK, they're saying theirs is a little bit away yet. Tamiya's should be here a little bit sooner. It's starting to make its way into the various reviewers' hands, shall we say, and things like that, so it can't be that far out. Anyway, my plan for today is on the sort of Star Wars theme. I'm going to be looking at the Revel Master Series Millennium Falcon, which we'll show you in a moment. Now the thing is with this particular kit, as we know, it's another fine molds reboxing, and the big thing with that one is that I was, again, going to be really critical of it because, again, I've built it. I know what the kit's like. But I've got this one, which we did, it was on a free to view for a long time, which is our very nicely weathered or beaten down Millennium Falcon in 144 by Bandai. And the reason I've got this out is, to be honest, I'm going to show the detail is better on this than it is on that, because, as I say, I know that kit well, even though I haven't opened it. So it is going to be that thing where I'm going to be hypercritical of it, which I know a lot of people seem to like me to be, and to be as honest as I can. So that's what I'm going to do with this particular one and show you. So again, right, we are, as you can see, studio's a little bit tidy. We've got this guy here. Again, a huge box, but let's face it, the fine molds one was as well. Ugh. Right, let me just show you what I was talking about with this 190 and the reason we haven't jumped straight into it and all the bits and pieces. Underneath, I know I showed it on last night's show as well, but you might notice down here we've actually got some little sanding things going on. So we had a little bit of a sink mark, and this is what we're talking about. If you go in there too quickly, you can physically get a sink mark in the plastic where you've used a weld action glue and it sinks down into there. All right, so that's why those were refilled and been sanded and blended in. But you might notice this shiny stuff around here. Wasn't happy with how that was. It was one of those things that was bugging me, and okay, we're going to wait. So I must admit, I started to sand it last night, but it was still soft and it was starting to roll up. So what we're going to do is just reblend all of that in, take care of all of that, and really spend a little bit of time just correcting what is a very small error, but it's a very noticeable error The other things I did as well is this guy down at the back here, we had a very small seam. You might see it on the other side, which I'm happy with because I'm going to call it a panel line. But this one was a tiny little bit bigger. So again, we used our homemade weld, plastic weld, and we just capillary actioned a line of it in there. It's going to need a very light sound, and then we can actually get down in there and just pop a row of rivets in just to replace it. But again, we did the same at the front just to tidy these two up, and down on here. And again, it's one of those things where I would rather do it now and get this thing sort of, you know, as far as I'm concerned, the best I can make it, than be in a situation where I'm looking back on it and it's finished and I can see it, because there's nothing worse and it drives you mad. And it's something where I think, you know, a lot of people, you know, you need to know the bit where you've had enough. And I'm not saying that you should be a martyr and carry on until it drives you mad and you hate doing the kit because it's full of faults. But literally, if you've got a problem where you think, okay, if I spend another hour, day just fixing it, I'm going to have a fantastic kit. I think that's better than having a situation where you've got your model and it's finished and it's sat here like this and you're looking because you know where the errors are. Yeah, and if you think you could take care of them, you should have done. And I know sometimes it's easier just to sweep things under the carpet and move on. But I think that's the difference where, you know, you can sort of sit back and think that's a model well built. I've taken my time with it. I've taken it. But if you're ever in a situation, and this is my big but to this, where it's driving you mad and you're not enjoying it, forget about it. Just gloss over it and move on to the next part of the build, because there's nothing worse turning up morning after morning or evening after evening or whatever it is the time you model, and you're looking at it thinking, oh God, I've still got to do that thing. It's a horrible, and I'm just making a mess. Sometimes it's better just to gloss over it. Okay, just, you know, maybe sometimes just put a little bit more filler down in there and then make the best as you can and move on. It's better to enjoy the build than it is to have the one that's hating you all the way through. Remember, it's a hobby, and at the end of the day, it being a hobby, you should be enjoying it. There's nothing worse than when it's actually you've got doing something you actually hate doing. And again, you know, so spent a little bit of time and doing it, but generally really just want to get on with that one. So what I'm going to do now is really, I'm going to get on with these reviews wherever it's gone. Huge big box of that one. I'm going to get that one actually recorded now. It's just gone 9 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is push through with that one. It's going to be about an hour. I'm going to spend a couple of hours actually then doing the editing for it, get all that done. And then if I can, I'm going to sand, take care, re-rivet those little bits and pieces down on there, get that one done. And then once that's done, I've also got orders this afternoon, and then I've got to do this afternoon's news show where hopefully we're working now. I can actually go back around the forum, have a look at your work. We can have a look at Flow and the Go, the group builds, the SIGs and everything else like that for our sort of Friday show. So there we go. Right, next up, review. Hi, welcome to Flory Models Kit Review time. This time we have a monster. Okay, this is Rebel's Master series of Star Wars kits that have just been brought out. We've got it here. This is still sealed. On the sides, you've got a little bit of pictures. Yeah, favourites on the top. Radar, communications array on the top. Then it's working in locations found on the bottom. Really good. Right, this is the cockpit area. So, that's my screen there. Has to happen one day. Super glue. Yes, we did super glue things together. Has to happen one day, definitely. Okay, good to go. And again. Okay, so in these parts we've actually got the, I'll tell you what, we do the neck first. Okay, yes, and I almost did cut my finger off, alright, doing that one. Quick super glue and we're good to go. So, there we go, that's that one done. Is it good? Yes, it's beautiful. Let's say, watch the full review on that. It is that good. It's a stunning kit and everything else. If Bandai obviously came out with this in 1/72nd, then yes, we would definitely do that one. Anyway, literally, this has just arrived, alright? So in here, theoretically, we have, to be honest, I have got post time as I'm calling it now. I've got literally loads of them over there to get through. I know some of you guys have sent me some bits and pieces, but the thing is, I know what this is, and this sort of fits in, and I wish you wouldn't put them in. But these are beautifully packaged. This is from the guys we were talking about in Japan that I buy all my Bandai kits from. So what we got down here is the Clone Trooper, which got released last week. So there's good service, and we've also got the TIE Interceptor, which basically, well, it keeps my collection going quite nicely. So we've got both of those. That'll go in the review pile along with everything else. My review pile. I've got enough reviews on, I think, to do 2 weeks without a break, just doing those. Right, okay, so next up for me, I'm going to do your orders. I've just been sent those over, so I'm going to get those done, packaged, ready to go. And then obviously this afternoon, I don't know if I'm going to get time to get a little couple of hours. I'd like to on the 109 just to finish off that riveting detail, the bits and pieces, get it in. I've got to do that still. At some point I've got to get online with Steve, because we haven't checked to see if Skype works on my new system. We know it streams fine, we've tested that, but we haven't tested the actual for the ability of the actual streaming with Skype and everything else in one. So at some point between now and tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I've got to get together with Steve. I might try and do it a little bit this evening and get that one done. And then obviously I'm going to have a look at the new show, and then I'm going to take you guys around and obviously have a look around the site and everything else as you'll be watching this in a few minutes. So still got lots and lots to do. Time to get on. So there we go, quite a busy day. To be honest, I'm quite happy that I've only cut my finger once in the last 10 years of doing reviews. That's the first time I caught it. So I'm quite happy with that. That's quite a success kill ratio, I think. Needless to say, it is beautiful. And I would build this kit in a heartbeat, and it's 275 quid. But actually, when you got the plastic in your hand and you look at it and you go through the motions of it, it is lovely. And to be honest, I know there's, you know, if you wanted to go down the other routes of doing this particular kit, let's face it, you've got the old Diego Gastini, D'Agostini people. You can spend, what does theirs work out? 600 quid for their one. And I've heard there's problems with it. Okay, so I know it's not perfect in any shape or forms, but the thing is, it's still going to give you a fantastic representation. This will do it for basically 300 quid, will give you a fantastic representation of it. This will give you a fantastic representation of it in its scale as well for around about, I don't know, 50 quid, all right? Or as we said, don't rule out this type of stuff. The snap tight stuff, use it as a basis, use it as the overall, you know, shell of it if you like, and to super detail this and everything else. So if you are on a budget, you know, you have got various forms, but when you're in that situation where if you want a 144, easy, go and buy the Bandai one. That is the kit to go for, okay? If you want to go 172nd, then obviously this is the only kit you can go for, so go for that one. If you want to go for the big one, so let's face it, you can do the Hasbro one and do the conversions and all the bits on that, which trust me, I've thought about doing. I'm holding back. You know, that one is going to set you back roughly around about 300 to 400 quid to make that one. Or as you say, go the Diego Gastini one and spend everything on it and have it all pre-painted and that. But then I would end up repainting it anyway and probably enhancing it. So from that point of view, there's just a myriad of options for this particular kit because there is no right or wrong. As I said, small, Bandai, mid, gonna go fine mold or Revel in this case, gonna go big, then obviously you're gonna go something like Diego Gastini one, or you know, you're gonna make your own one through the Hasbro way. So, you know, as I said, it's one of these strange kits where there's no right or wrong really at the end of the day. It's not like when we were doing yesterday an apples for apples comparison between the Bandai X-Wing and obviously the fine molds Revel X-Wing. You know, you're gonna go, you know, with the Bandai one every single time. Anyway, never mind. So, we're gonna have a look around the forum now. Okay guys, so here we are in the forum as usual. Lots of exciting stuff going on there, loads of your great work, builds and everything else. But I thought we'd start off obviously with Flo. So Flo is on the go at the moment. As we saw last time, she was starring in her own little TV show, bless her heart, everything else. So anyway, now she has moved on. Here we go. Darren has arrived safely with Darren, as we can see. Don't know if you wanted to address on there, sorry if you did. And Flo usually making herself a bit of a mischief and everything else. And as you can see, Flo's with Darren having a great job playing down, as you can see. In Gettysburg, fantastic, beautiful scenery. And Flo making around all the historical landmarks. We can see
So at the moment, Flo is now heading us way to the east coast, I do believe. So well done, Darren, for having Flo at the moment. Much appreciated. Right, so things going on the forum. To be honest, we are now a little bit quiet for the sort of summer bit, if you like. We've had the barbecues, we've had all the announcements. I've been out and about for the last couple of weeks doing various projects I've been working on and other bits and pieces. And now we are really getting back down into it all. So if we have a quick look at the group builds, we can see what's going on down in here. So at the moment, group build wise, obviously we've got the Big in Japan group build. This is going to be running and from the 2nd of July until obviously Christmas, basically 18th of December. Down there at the moment, we've got 154 builds in progress at the moment, and we've got 13 finished. So let's just have a look down and see what's happened. Okay, so Mark, he's done this one. Beautiful. As I say, we see the love child of a Jaguar and something else, as I call it, which is the Mitsubishi F1. I'm doing this particular kit. I'm doing mine in the camo markings. Really itching to get on with it. I don't think it's going to take me too long, to be honest. It's going to be like a week's work on that one, but I'm really looking forward to doing it. Lovely little touches on this one. Obviously all the panel lining, the weathering look down, but the metalwork especially is really, really nice. Okay, right the way through on all of that. She's done a great job with that one. Okay, what else we got down at Ian? I thought we would see, to be honest, more of zeros and things, but this one's a little bit different. Saw this one yesterday. This is the toy, is it the Tomitech Mitsubishi? We were a little bit thinking we think might be a Hasegawa behind this. It's basically a pre-painted kit that you just sort of put together. Type of thing you find in museums and stuff like that, but it is a nice interesting subject, the way that it has got all of this open, so you can physically see the details down in the inside and everything else like that. I think it's a really nice touch to be able to see what's going on underneath the skin, and then obviously on the other side we are just like that, and again with a little museum sort of display with it, the various bits and pieces. You know, I think that's actually quite a nice little model in its own right, so well done to him. What else? As I say, it was always going to be a few of these in here, and we are not disappointed. This is the Bandai Valkyrie, which is the 172nd in the VF25 markings. These are these sort of transformer type robots. Really do like these things. I think they're absolutely very, very cool. Very nice, and again they can be a bit of a handful to sort of pose and get up, I've heard, so it's nice to see one all done just like that. Beautiful paint and markings and various things gone onto that one, so well done to him. We just pick out something else. Your more traditional World War II. This is the this is the Type 11 N1 K1 Shinden. Very nice like that. Very nice little diorama. Something simple, nice with the grass work, and it's one of those things. It's not, when you're doing your dioramas and your bits and pieces, something I like about this one is there's the way that the environment is perfectly in sync with the model, and that is the sign, for my personal taste anyway, of a diorama well done. So what you're looking for is to have the vehicles match the actual diorama base they're on. So the weathering that you'll see is in this sort of dusty environment, the colours of the mud, the various bits and pieces carry on across everything, including the model itself. I really do like this one, so it's a very nice touch to see this one. All too often, sometimes you see, you know, perhaps a model that's gone on and been put down, and it's sort of like an after effect or an afterthought onto it. You know, I am guilty of that. I'm not very good at them at all, but it's a nice one to see this one, that it's all sort of blending together and everything else like that. So well done to him. Nice chipping work, that sort of nice Pacific Theatre dust chipped and worn look that these things had, right the way down to the vehicles and the other bits as well. Extremely well done, all of those, so well done to him. Okay, pick out one more. So what have we got down here? Again, this is what we're loving about this particular group build, and why I was really excited about it, because I knew we'd get a nice diverse groups of different modelers doing different things, and then every now and again somebody's going to throw something in there completely left field. This is the type of thing. This is what we was on about. So this is one of the Hasegawa 172nd vanship kits. These are sort of that sort of what if steampunk type thing. Beautifully done, very nicely done. Again, it's one of those things, the side of the hobby. I know a couple of years ago, obviously at the Nationals in the UK, we had a winner with something along these lines, and it drew a lot of attention because of what it was. These things, I think, have just about, you know, sort of come into the foreground now. All the steampunk stuff seems to be literally mainstream modelling, which is lovely because there's no rights and wrongs. It's all that sort of what-if-ery, but, you know, and that's the thing about it. So you can put your own artistic license into a model, and that's what I like to see. Beautiful work on the metal finish on this one as well, but generally all over a very nice one. So well done to that one. That's absolutely beautiful. Right, we just pick one more. Let's just pick one more at random. Let's have a 0. 30-second 0. Webby's been busy again. Beautifully done. Very nicely done. Again, it's one of those things. The 0 is just that classic line of an aircraft, easily spottable, usually from the canopy and the nose cowling, things like that. That it's a 0. Beautiful lines. As I say, really nice job on that one. Well done. Fantastic work. Beautiful. So it just shows to show with this particular group build, it's not all about the you know, the sort of World War II and the various things. Literally anything goes. I know we've got a lot of stuff in this particular build. We've got one here actually. If I just grab this one out of the group build that's working on at the moment, which is bikes. A lot of Japanese bikes. Just letting that load through. As you can see, beautifully done. The different bikes and the things coming up. So this is Lee just working on this now. If I just dive down a bit further, you can see the great detail that goes into this. Beautiful work. Absolutely stunning. Love that. Well done to him. That's absolutely beautiful. Right, okay, the other one that's going on at the moment obviously is our armour one. I got the 15th of October on this one. This is a SIG, so there's no medals and the usual bits and pieces we know with this one, but this is the best of British heavy metal. 69 on the go, pretty good. We've got 10 completed, so let's have a quick look at the 10 completed. So Jeff's done the Crusader. Again, beautiful job. Nice clean photos. And that sort of monotone with the green and then breaking it up through weathering and all the bits and pieces. Even we've got oil marking and everything around here that just pops out. Really nice work right the way down to the grime that's obviously being dusted up over the entire vehicle, off of the tracks and everything else. Beautiful job on that. Love the clean photos as well. Very, very nice indeed. In fact, the photos are absolutely stunning. Very, very nice on that one. So well done to him. We just pick out a couple more. What do we got down here? This is Rob. He's done the utility vehicle. This is Tamiya. Little utility vehicle. Simple little diorama again, just to set it off, just to show it off right the way through. And again, we were saying about how the base is part of the actual model itself. So where he's done here is obviously we've got the grit and the various things down here inside the vehicle, just to make it all blend through. That's what we were saying about how to, you know, make it all seamless. And everything else like that. So he's done a very nice job on that one. Well done for that one. Okay, if we just grab another one. So down here we've got the this is the replica resin Vickers Mark 6C 1/35 scale, done by Rob. Again, beautiful stuff. Very nicely done. As I say, don't think I've seen this particular piece of armour before. I know I'm not the biggest armour buff in the world, but I must admit I haven't seen this one. Again, very, very nice. Beautifully done. And the kids want the sand pack for their sand pit. Okay, can't beat a Lanny. Let's face it. You know, this is the way it is. Alright. Okay, so this is a Hobby Boss. Yeah, Hobby Boss Land Rover. This is the 110 hardtop. Great little kit. I know our very own Sid has had a go at these. I don't know if he's ever finished one, come to think of it. You know, he's done that thing. Started loads, never finished one. Okay, very nice. Beautifully done. Indeed. Even right down to weathering on the underside. So what done, Michael? Absolutely fantastic on that one. Okay, what else we got? Chieftain Mark 5. We always knew there was going to be a lot of Chieftains in this particular group build. Obviously, sorry, let me just take you back to the top. But Bob, he's been busy with this one again. Nicely done. Is this... That's the Tamiya, that explains it. Sorry, I was looking at it, I'm thinking, looks like the Tamiya one. Okay, so this is the Tamiya 1/35 scale, a kit that's probably older than me. Bearing in mind I'm mid-40s now. Was this thing done early 70s, I think it was? As a kit, still today as good as the day it was done. Beautiful little kit. Nice little weathering on that. With the crew, a little bit of stowage on there as well. Very nicely done. Al Capone. As you can see, nicely done. Well done on that one, Bob. Right, okay, so Tamiya, it's a Cromwell diorama. Does seem to be the armour guys make the effort and go for the full diorama. Perhaps, as I say, aircraft guys are lazy. Beautifully done, very nice. Again, exactly what we've said all the way through. Nice to see that the vehicle is part of the diorama, not just placed on top. Some very nice stuff down there. And it's the little things I love about dioramas. Okay, it's things like, you know, we've got the MG42 line down here. Very nicely done indeed. And the barrel, and just the way that the poster is ripped and has fallen here. You know, again, little touches to detail. This is why I don't do dioramas. I don't have this brain that sort of will allow me to sort of go through all the motions of it. And right the way through, just to, you know, obviously the brick with the mortar lines in between, the way it would deteriorate and fall down, the rubble, the wear and tear on the inside, you know, the way the plaster's coming away. Fantastically done, very nicely done. Some nice touches. Again, it's one of those things where, you know, I probably have to say the armour bit is probably the easy bit. Doing a good diorama and getting it right like this, that's just something else. Then we're moving around to the other side of the diorama. Obviously we can see the figures and they're actually in the prone position. Again, very nicely done, beautifully done. And again, looking around for all those little bits. So we've got the bottles down here, a little bit of ironwork from the fence line down here, the bricks, right the way through to the glass and bits and pieces on the seat. Very nice, and the glass shards around. Incredibly well done, very nice. Actually glass shards from here, probably down there. Nice, very, very nice indeed. Again. And then you're looking, you know, from my point of view, I'm looking at this and thinking little touches I absolutely love. One is this chain, where it's not just a big old rusty chain. Some links are, some aren't. Very realistic real life. And how the boxes are crushing slightly and various things like that. You know, absolutely right. And down here, the areas. Again, it's the attention to detail. It's beautifully done, very nicely done. Well worth us spending a few minutes having a look round. Nobody can resist doing the black and white and sepia photos. Again, very nicely done. And then more troops with the Bren, you can see. Good close-up shots, very nice. Nothing to hide in this one. Beautifully done everywhere. Yeah, lots of photos, but I'm thinking it's definitely well worth us spending a few minutes just going round, seeing all the extra work that goes in. I say big hats off, big kudos. Okay, the photos are going on now. How many have we done? I'm committed. There we go. Fantastic, that is absolutely beautiful work. Well done, Gerald, on that one. Jerry did a beautiful job. Fantastic, love that. Probably one of my favourites this year, actually. Just love the attention to detail absolutely everywhere on that one. So there we go, that is what's going on down in the forum at the moment. Remember, don't forget, we just have a recap here because everyone gets it wrong. If it's a Tuesday show, Q&A's, it's going to be in here. This is the one me and Steve tend to pre-record. Sometimes we do in the that we do in the afternoons live, but generally that's where you'll put a question down there, things like that. Down here Saturday morning, obviously this Saturday, me and Steve will be up with you tomorrow morning, bright and early, 9 o'clock till midday. If you want to talk to us as we make our way, I think we're actually getting some paint on the Dolphins, although I'm probably not that close to it yet. And then the monthly Tuesday night one. So when we get all the guys down and everything else like that, that's where it's going to be. Now, apologies for this one. It should have been this Tuesday, but obviously I didn't get back till very late on Tuesday, and then I hadn't even plugged this computer in yet. Then we had to have the engineer out, as you know. So basically, we've just pushed it back a week. We're going to be back with you next Tuesday, okay, for that one. So no problems with there. And remember, if you want to watch us live and you're in the forum, just click down in here, click on live stream, and that's where it is. So when you click in here, and then it will come up. It says we're offline, but you got the last ones for all the live stuff will appear down the side. So if you did want to watch us mess around. Oh, it's not quite the Saturday show, but I haven't changed that one over thinking about it. But then was. There we go. That's because I forgot to put the wrong title up. If you did want to watch us there, if you ever want to watch us live streaming, that's where we are on the forum, and you can do it that bit, okay, and just see us just down there. So that's it from the forum, guys. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later.
Stunning work as ever from everybody taking part down in the group builds and the SIGs. Remember, it's never too late to join one. You can join one right up to the last day. So if you do want to get involved, you're inspired by it, all the bits and pieces, then feel free to join in any of the group builds and SIGs. Remember, all you got to do is a build thread. Full details are down in the forum and everything else like that. So tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed, to be honest, after I've recorded this, I'm going to get edited and then hopefully I'm going to get an hour or so with Steve where we can basically make sure Skype's working okay. We know this side's working okay for me for the live shows, but we just haven't tried it with Steve yet. So hopefully that'll be perfect, no problem at all. So you can all join us 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for Build Along with Phil and Steve. Remember, it's a fun, light-hearted show. If you want to join us over breakfast or dinner if you're in Australia, or middle of the night if you're in America, wherever you are, feel free. We'll be here. Going to be working on the Dolphin helicopters. I'm going to push mine along quite heavily hopefully tomorrow and get on with it. Remember, if you've got any questions, as we saw a little minute ago in the actual forum, make sure you just pop it in the right area. That way it's easier for us to find and answer your questions. Sometimes we have them all over the place and it's very hard to find them until after the show's finished, okay? So if you pop it down in the Saturday show, that'll be no problem at all and we can find it. So that's about it from me. Again, a really busy week. Next week will be a normal week for me. I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to crack on and get some work done, get going on the actual 190, and then we can push on with the armour, and then we can get going again with the Bandai stuff and the various things for the group builds and SIGs that I want to take part in next week. So all that leaves me now is to leave me with your great work that you've finished this week in the gallery section. So until next week, everybody, happy modelling and take care.
I was not ready to fall in like I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing and keep your words naked.